All right, guys. So this is a shocker. This is a shocker. I'm sure you guys remember. I had done a couple videos. I don't remember how many, maybe 2 or 3 videos, something like that, on Asmongold. Every now and then he'll say something that's just blows my mind, and I'm forced to respond. Like when he said that casually genocidal shit about Palestinians. That's one example. I forget what the last one was, but I did a segment on it. Apparently he responded. Now, thankful for my mental health here, I don't actually watch people when they fucking decide to come after me. My theory is very simple. Like, live and let live. Y'all want to, hey, I have every right to attack you guys. You have every right to attack me back, by all means. Now, look, I do happen to know, because friends of mine covered it, that he's bigger than me. It's that simple. His show is maybe twice the size of mine. He's a giant streamer. He's certainly more popular than I am. So without a doubt, I grabbed a stick and I hit a fucking hornet's nest. And so I was told that he responded to my video, and then my original video got fucking brigaded going after him. This is the first thing I've seen.
Oh yeah, first time
seen of him since then, and it looks like he may already.
I mean, like, are you surprised? Asmongold literally encourages harassment from his audience.
Be having a change of heart and a change of mind. He may already.
No. I don't think Kylinski has watched enough of. Do you think Dan is evil? Yeah, I think so. I don't think that Kylinski has watched enough Asmongold. I don't think he knows Asmongold well enough in this sense.
Be turning on Trump. And look, all I'll say is, we'll take it.
No,
we love to see it.
No, he still does apologism to Trump to this day, but it's more like he's being careful on how far he wants to take his defense of Trump, because he knows that public sentiment is turning against Trump, right? He's being cognizant of public sentiment turning against Trump because, well, it'll make him look bad, right? If he is way too pro-Trump and he gets called out by his followers.
We love to see it. Anybody who was on that Trump train, anybody who was doing that right-wing propaganda, anybody who was feeding into that right-wing ecosystem online, which was so profitable for so long. I mean, the grift, you never see people grifting left. It's always to the right, because that's where the money is, that's where the popularity is, that's where the most passionate people online are, right? But it looks like the tides have shifted so fucking hard against Trump that even some of his strongest soldiers are now falling and are now going,
No. I don't think that's happening. I don't agree with Kyle here.
I don't know about this Epstein stuff, bro. I do not know about this Epstein. It doesn't look good. It does not look good. So, here we go. Here's Asmongold.
Isn't it time for Asmongold?
Oh, for the Epstein stuff? Yes. But remember, it's not that Asmongold is turning against Trump. It's that Asmongold thinks that Trump isn't going far enough, number one. And number two, he is still trying to be as pro-Trump as possible without receiving backlash for being way too pro-Trump. While also trying to come off as reasonable. Okay? It's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious once you take a deeper look. Okay? Like, this isn't exactly rocket science to see that is what Asmongold is doing.
Stop sucking Trump's dick. I've been very critical of Trump regularly. If you look at any of my commentary discussing things that he's done, you'll see that I'm extremely critical of him, even more so recently since the Epstein stuff. So this is just, it's again, just the typical Reddit, one-dimensional thinking, because, you couldn't vote for Kamala Harris. If she was going to do something, she would have.
She was the vice president. And there were ongoing cases involving the Epstein files, so they couldn't release them even if they wanted to at that time. And she objectively would have been way better, but I digress.
Vote? Of course I didn't vote.
True.
Why would I vote if I don't feel like the candidate represents my viewpoints and my values to a degree that I feel confident?
Why should Asmongold even talk about politics if he doesn't even vote? If he doesn't participate in, like, the fucking civic process of our godforsaken country, like, why the fuck should he ever talk about any kind of political take ever? It's like that is the most retarded thing ever. It's like Dan trying to give me like voting advice or like political advice. It's like Dan complaining about renter laws or some shit like that, right? Because he doesn't get to extort them as much or some shit. Like, why should we give a fuck about your landlord opinions if you don't even vote? You're not voting to affect the landlord opinion one way or another, right?
At voting for them, and I think that I've been proven right. I have
Still
been.
crazy that Dan doesn't. I've seen some people. I've seen some people defend Dan. Like they go like, well, I mean, Dan missed the date. Dan forgot to vote. Dan wanted to go vote, but he forgot to somehow. Oh, he missed the date to register. Blah blah blah. How is that an excuse? You would never offer this kind of excuse for anybody else. Just by the way, okay. Like if anybody else did this, you would be like, no. You should have tried harder. You should have tried harder. You should have tried harder to go and get registered to vote. You should have tried harder. Like, what? Excuse me? Yeah, I accidentally tripped over a fucking glass of wine, and I'm an alcoholic, and the wine just suddenly got into my mouth. Yeah, okay, like that sounds to me like that kind of excuse.
I think I've been proven right with that.
So here he is now going, yeah, he's fucking up, and that Epstein file shit is kind of bad, and like I'm kind of happy I didn't vote for him now, but here's his commentary from the past. Ready?
For this, yeah. I mean, if I had known he was going to do this, I would have voted for him. I would have, like, I 100%. I didn't vote for Donald Trump, but if I did, I would say that I voted for this.
By the way, this was his reaction to the ICE Gestapo thugs rounding up innocent people, and his reaction to Trump using the U.S. military to invade U.S. cities illegally, by the way.
Dan was so scared of being doxxed that he didn't vote and then entered the internet under his government name. Dan isn't actually scared of being doxxed. And if he's actually scared of being doxxed, he's not scared enough. Okay? That sounds crazy. But the point is that it's very clear to me he doesn't actually demonstrate a real fear of being doxxed. Videos of his security camera of him chasing around the raccoon around his swimming pool, right, in which you can just locate that. In addition to other shit like him trying to contact congressmen, trying to get more attention by contacting congressmen to go after Hassan. Like the shamelessness in trying to contact a congressman to go after Hassan while you do not vote. Like, you wouldn't have voted for that congressman if he represented your area, right? Like, but at the same time, you're trying to seek help from them, like direct help from them. Yeah, that's some shameless shit right there. Yeah.
This was his reaction. Hyper-militarism going after liberals and lefties for disagreeing. This is his reaction.
I've been waiting for this to happen ever since BLM. This is what I voted for. Well, I'll tell you guys, how many of you guys that voted for Trump, you're getting it's even better than what you would hope for. You know he wrote this. Yep, this is what I voted for. Yep.
So I believe this one, I remember this one. It's when Trump was bombing people in Yemen. And Asmongold was like, yeah, bro, this is what everybody voted for. This is amazing, bro.
He wrote this. Yep, this is what I voted for. Yep. To Iran, support for the Houthi terrorists must end immediately. Beware, because America will hold you fully accountable, and we won't be nice about it. Hell will rain down upon you like nothing you have ever seen before. What I voted for Trump to do was like what he did with the DEI stuff on day one. What I voted for him to do is what he did with, like, for example, Iran. You didn't vote? Yeah, exactly. But I would have voted. If I would have voted, that would have been what I voted for.
Oh my god. He's so shameless. He's like, yeah, you didn't vote? Yeah, I didn't vote. Oh my god, these people, bro. Oh my god. Never change. Honestly, never change, okay? Part of the entertainment value is like seeing like how shameless these people are and seeing how shameless they're willing to go, right? Like that's also part of the entertainment value, right? Is the hypocrisy and like seeing how shameless they can be, right?
Did Trump earn your vote by now? If I could go back in time and vote for him, I absolutely would. I did not think that he was going to go this hard at all.
So a little bit different. The stuff before was, oh my God, he's amazing. Oh my God, he's great. Oh, I should have voted for this. Oh, this is incredible. And by the way, virtually every single thing he was referring to as a reason to vote for Trump is a reason that should horrify any normal American. Any normal American goes, really? Should we crack skulls of innocent people and send them to to Seacot to a concentration camp where they get grape.
Notice all these dudes are the same age, straight and white. That's correct. Everybody who is reprehensible on the internet is an old white man, okay? Everybody who is evil beyond belief is an old white man, all right? Just apply this rule to everyone, okay? Seriously. Just every single time you see an old white man on the internet, just automatically assume that they're evil, okay? It'll save you a lot of time, all right?
And tortured with no due process whatsoever. Should they really blow off judges' decisions? Is that really a good idea? Should he invade U.S. cities with the U.S. military wildly, illegally? Should he do every one of those things? Should he illegally bomb Yemen? Should he really do that? Every one of those things when he was going, yeah. But the thing that actually made
idpoll is just correct idpoll, okay? Why is 13% of the... No, they will never make up 13%. It's always like 50% or some shit. I was trying to make like a joke, but like it's just, it doesn't even work.
I don't know about this guy anymore. It's the Epstein files. It is. So one more time. Listen again.
Is it time for Asmongold to stop sucking Trump's dick? I've been very critical of Trump regularly. If you look at any of my commentary discussing things that he's done, you'll see that I'm extremely critical of him, even more so recently since the Epstein stuff. So this is just, it's again, just the typical Reddit, one-dimensional thinking, because, you know, you couldn't vote for Kamala Harris. If she was going to do something, she would have. So,
you know what? I totally buy, the narrative about Asmongold being depressed, okay? Because that makes far more sense now. Asmongold is just depressed, okay? Like, he doesn't eat much, okay? He doesn't eat much. He makes fun of fat people. He makes fun of women. He makes fun of everybody, right? You know, like, I just see somebody who is disturbed and now inflicting harm to people around him, okay? But... Hi again. Hello, Stumbling.
Yeah, you didn't even vote? Of course I didn't vote. Why would I vote if I don't feel like the candidate represents my viewpoints and my values to a degree that I...
Then you vote for the person who is closest to your viewpoints? Like, it's so retarded. Like, this is so... Like, this is the most retarded, like, reasoning ever for not voting. Like... Oh, why is it that you realize, like, nobody is going to represent your beliefs, like, one-to-one, right? Like, the chances that a person is going to represent all of your beliefs one-to-one is, like, pretty much, like, 0, right? Like...
feel confident so voting for them. And I think that I've been proven right. I have been. I think I've been proven right with that.
So, let me just say... This is what happens when you're at 35% approval rating. This is what happens.
And this is also what happens when you're 35 years old and still on YouTube with no wife and no kids. Sorry, I want to clear. I'm a 35-year-old man. I can't roast my fellow femcells, okay? I can't roast my fellow femcells. I have to look out for them, okay? I have to look out for them.
When you were all over those Epstein emails. There were 23,000 emails. Trump was in about 1,600 of them. We learned that, for example, in 2011, he was at Epstein's house with a victim, quote, 4 hours. Okay? This is what happens when you illegally demolish the east wing of the White House and then go to build went from $100 million to $200 million to $300 million to $400 million billionaire ballroom at the same time. Unemployment's going up and inflation's going up and people can't afford groceries. They're using Klarna to get groceries. This is what happens in that scenario. This is what happens when you cut off 92 million pounds of food aid that was going to go to food banks for the holidays, and now people are starving. This is what happens when you freeze 42 million, you kick 42 million off of the SNAP program, the food stamp program. This is what happens when 18 million lose their Medicaid, and health insurance premiums double, triple, quadruple, and in some cases more. Even the strongest soldiers no longer have a case to make for you. They don't have a case anymore. And by the way, look, I am super proud of Ro Khanna. I really am, because Ro Khanna has been leading on the Epstein files. I see him in reaction to this fake release of the files where only 1% of the files were released and they were heavily fucking redacted, and they're protecting Trump, and they accidentally released some stuff that had Trump's pictures. Then they pulled it back down to try to protect Trump. In the midst of all this, who's leading the way? Ro Khanna.
I play like a paranoid schizophrenic these days.
I see him on every single show talking about this, talking about we're going to go after Pam Bondi, we're going to impeach her, we're going to, hold her in contempt for not abiding by the law. And it's now at the point where Hassan Piker is, backing Ro Khanna on this. Asmongold was watching Hassan Piker talk to Ro Khanna, And Asmongold goes, I can see myself supporting this guy, Ro Khanna. So I saw the streamer XQC was saying he wants to get Ro Khanna on stream and he's a guy he could support. Asmongold saying the same thing. When you imagine...
Yeah, they're all populists, right? Like, the entire point is that they're all populists, right? Like, that's the entire point. They're all populists, yeah. Stupid.
Managed to unite.
Oh my lord.
Me, Hassan, and Asmongold? Man, that's some special shit. I don't know if there's anybody in the country that could do that, but because Ro Khanna is leading with conviction and integrity, and he's fighting for the truth, for Americans to know the truth about what happened with Epstein.
That was so cringe.
He's creating strange bedfellows. It's that old saying, politics creates strange bedfellows. It sure as shit does. But by the way, Asmongold was, I don't know about Trump now. Here's what he was saying not that long ago. Ready?
We have featured more than 1,000 anti-Semites on our platforms. 1,000. Feature them publicly, clearly, and with evidence. The results speak for themselves.
The evidence, by the way, is like maliciously edited clips and things like that. Everybody who's part of the America First agenda should view being listed on this website as a qualification to run for office. If you get listed on this website as being an enemy of the goals of Israel, then you are actually America First. Like,
wait, bro. But America First is, like, unironically, like, a bunch of racists. Like, of course they're anti-Semitic. Because they think that the Jays run they literally believe in the JQ. If you're like, dude, if you believe in the JQ and you're like a fucking well-known groiper and you end up on, like, a fucking website that tracks anti-Semites, like, hello? Like, who cares? Like, literally, who gives a fuck? I'm sorry. Wait, don't tell me that Kyle... Don't tell me that Kyle's gonna defend this, right? Whoa. He's not gonna do it, right?
Like, you can't say this about Palestine, you can't say this about Israel, and somebody who's an activist for this is going to be criticized in this way. It's ridiculous. They try to dox, mislabel, defame, slander, and misrepresent anybody who goes against their interests, and then creating a chilling effect across the entire country to prevent negative discourse about a country. They only have the power that you let them have. And so if you see something like this happening, you can just simply get enough people together and then make it stop happening. But AIPAC pays them so much, you have to get a lot of people together. Yeah, it's by the way, that's going to happen. It's going in that direction, and they can't stop it. People don't want their country run by a foreign power. And I think that it's snowballing very, very, very fast.
So that was Asmongold now talking about, oh, this looks like Israel first.
Yeah, because anti-Semitism is a populist belief. Because anti-Semitism is popular among the left and the right. Especially among the populist left and the populist right. Where is the surprise here? There is no surprise for me, okay? There's literally no surprise on my end, okay? Yeah, anti-Semitism is a hardcore, like, fucking position on both the left and the right. Like, yeah, of course. I mean, people will argue it's not about anti-Semitism, it's about, like, rich people or some shit like that. That's not true. Every single rich people CEO conspiracy is laden with, like, anti-Semitic connotations and anti-Semitic like applications. Okay, and to pretend otherwise is to use ambiguity about the issue in order to create a kind of plausible deniability. Okay, I know how these things work. I've seen them time and time again.
The Trump regime is putting Israel first. That's a huge problem.
Like, just to be very clear, they're uniting around anti-Semitism, okay? Like, this is not uniting around, like, this and that, blah, blah, blah. No, it's just uniting around being anti-Semitic, okay? Yeah. That's all it is.
Problem. Here's what he was saying not that long ago.
Is removable under the Secretary of State Marco Rubio's assertion that his continued presence and his actions in the United States actually compromise foreign policy and political priorities. That's very stunning because that is actually the only thing that she ruled on today. She did not rule on the other allegations that were raised by DHS that he allegedly misrepresented information on his green card application.
None of that matters. It doesn't have to matter. Like, they can just deport him for whatever reason they want.
So that is the exact opposite of what his new take is. Mahmoud Khalil did the exact thing you were saying people should do. Criticizing Israel. And they deported him for his free speech criticizing Israel. You supported that. And now you're saying, well, obviously we should support Israel. We should all get on a list for criticizing Israel because that's the patriotic thing to do. Because they're doing Israel first. We need to do America first. This is incredible.
That's what the rules say. I said this at the beginning. Everybody was getting mad at me for saying this, but, like, it's a fucking fact. Yeah, that's what the rules say. That's fucked up, though? No, it's not.
What I do is revoke visas, and it's very simple. A visa it's not a right; it is a privilege. People apply for student visas to come into the United States and study.
That's right.
Get the fuck out, bro. Get them the fuck out.
So they sacrifice their free speech. If they come to this country, they sacrifice their right to free speech. No, that's the whole point of a right. A right means it's off the table. It's protected no matter what. It's the opposite of a privilege. A privilege is something that can be given and taken away. A right is something that's supposed to be set in stone, off the table, always protected.
Yeah, but that's what Asmongold believes, right? Like, Asmongold wants that to be a privilege, right? Like, he wants citizenship like that to be a privilege, even though a right is, oh, it doesn't matter who you are, you're going to have this right? Like, having the access to a public defender if you get accused of a crime. That is a right. That is a right that is established in the government, right? But a privilege, like, to want that to be, yeah. That's, but I think Asmongold is trying to express an ought, not a is, right? He's not trying to say, well, it is like that. It is, he's saying he wants that, right? It ought to be like that.
So no, you don't sacrifice your right to free speech if you're an immigrant to this country. We all, at one point or another, were immigrants to this country. Does that mean we can't criticize the government? We can't say things they don't want us to say? No, this is literally against the First Amendment, against the Constitution.
This is what I voted for. It's crazy that left-wing people have gotten flanked so bad that this is now a position that they have to fight against.
Is that what Ms. Ozturk did?
We're not going to give you a
what she did?
Asmongold is like, damn it, and I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for that pesky First Amendment.
Do that, Mr.
Look
Secretary.
how mad he is.
Yeah, he's mad because somebody was deported for writing an op-ed that was mildly critical of Israel. That's why he's mad. And actually, if I remember correctly, her case, she was like disappeared for a while. They like disappeared her.
In rage face.
Did do that, Mr. Secretary.
And every single one of these cases, the factors are different. The bottom line is, if you come here to stir up trouble
What is
on
my
our
ninja
campuses,
talking
we will
about?
deny you a visa. And if you
Does
have
the
a
First
visa
Amendment
and
apply
you,
to
we'll revoke
living in the United
it. And
States?
we're going to do more.
It shouldn't. If I could go back in time and vote for him, I absolutely would. I did not think that he was going to go this hard at all. Protest, what makes a protest unlawful? The refusal to disperse when the police tell you to disperse. And the, like, restricting access and freedom of movement in a public place. Impeding travel, yeah. It's very simple. It's so simple. Roadblocks and the scope of the protest is big. I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like this is like a national event. Yeah, this is a national event. It's a really big fucking deal. And so, like, I think this transcends like a small protest or whatever. I mean, this is a direct protest against the government. And also, like, I'm sure that, I mean, and also this is mainly at night, right? I mean, you're looking at a lot of this at night, so there's probably not as many people driving around. Like, obviously it's not good to block traffic, but I feel like that's not really, like, the entire city, the entire country is being shut down, right?
So the tune has changed. Hassan also commented on this. He said, the rats are escaping the sinking ship. Asmongold commended the ADL when they were getting pro-Palestinian CCs deplatformed for criticizing Israel for the past 2 years. He supported Trump deporting Mahmoud Khalil. Now he's trying to pivot to an anti-Israel position. And that's the point that everybody needs to realize. The whole problem with being a leftist is that we're right too early. On everything, we're right too early.
Oh, wow. Please tell me something less egotistical than that.
And then eventually everybody catches up and goes, oh yeah, well, duh, that's the duh position. We all agree to that.
Jesus.
And I'm not kidding. Think about the Iraq War. I'm old enough to remember living through that era. And in that...
Like were leftists right too early about the USSR? And about Chernobyl, or...
Era, if you said,
or
I'm against the Iraq War, why do you hate the troops? Why are you defending Saddam Hussein? Why are you okay with evil dictators? Like, you got hit with every bullshit argument under the sun, and it was overwhelming. Like, they did the propaganda build-up, and it was like some super large majority of the country that supported the war. If you were a leftist, you were right too early. Now, you can't find anybody that supports the Iraq war. Everybody agrees with every point we made from day one, right? This is the thing. Lefties are always right too early, and that's exactly what happened in this case, too. We were right when we talked about how Trump's in the fucking Epstein files. And Trump is Epstein's best friend. And Trump committed all sorts of heinous crimes with underage girls. We were right about that. People are catching up to that. Now that he's hiding it very clearly, they released pictures of the Epstein files that had him in it, then they pulled it down. Everybody sees what's happening. Everybody understands. And they go, oh shit, this is unacceptable. You know, we said Trump is bought and owned by the Israel lobby. Miriam Adelson gave him $100 million and he did her bidding. Now the quid pro quo is Israel's going to get to steal the West Bank. We warned you about that. It's happening right in front of our eyes. I told you the peace deal was fake. I was the only person saying it on day one, that the ceasefire in Israel was fake. I've been proven 100% correct about that, right? You name an issue, I will tell you how the left has been correct too early, and we get dumped on for being correct, and then eventually everybody comes to our position. So now, you know, you're pointing out how Trump...
Hogwash, dude. Hogwash. If you make 100 conspiracy theories and 10 of them come true, or 5 of them come true, and then you claim that, oh yeah, we've been saying that 5 this entire time. I mean, I guess you're casting a very wide net there. You're casting a very wide net there of like predictions, conspiracy theories, and stuff like that. But you're just ignoring the other 95 that just happen to be wrong now or not yet proven.
Trump is actually Israel first, and he's not U.S. first. Right? So now you're pointing out, oh, that's kind of problematic, and he's doing some fucked up shit. Now, it's, we better criticize Israel, and we better get our name on that list of people who criticize Israel. Before it was, deport the immigrants who are criticizing Israel correctly. So this is what we go through. This is what we go through. But you know what? It's okay, because at the end of the day, I will take it that people are moving in the right direction, which is why, by the way, Trump's now at a 35% approval rating, and it's only going to get lower. Inflation's going up, unemployment's going up, the trade war was fucking stupid. He's trying to do regime change in Venezuela. Iran is not done yet. If you think they're done trying to overthrow Iran, you're just wrong. Bombing Yemen, bombing Somalia, threatening Panama, invading U.S. cities with the U.S. military, rounding up innocent people, putting them in concentration camps. I mean, the list goes on and on. The most corrupt regime we've seen ever in U.S. history, and it's not even close, robbing his own supporters, making billions of dollars while in the White House, off of the White House. Like, we've never seen anything like this before, right? And now what's happened now is the rolling thunder thing where they hit you with 10 things a day. All of those things are so bad, and it's all stacking on top of the next thing, like this, to the point where you can't, like, there's no way you can go through a day without hearing something horrific that the regime is doing. And so it's waking people up. It's waking people up. You know, sending $40 billion to Argentina while Americans are starving and losing their health care. What the fuck is that? You know, that's something that even a guy like Asmongold's going to look at that and go, really? Really? And so here we are. The rats are escaping the sinking ship. And look, the only thing you have to look out for is until Trump is totally politically gonzo, you will see this back and forth thing. How many times have we seen it with different right-wing figures? How many times have we seen it with Alex Jones, for example? He'll criticize Trump strong. I'm done with him because he did X, Y, and Z, and I'm not okay with that. And then within a week, he'll hop right back on his nuts. Tucker Carlson, he'll talk a big game about certain issues, disagreeing with the administration, but he won't say it. He won't actually say, and Trump is wrong about this, and we're not supporting him anymore. So that's the thing, right? They're all going to try to do stolen lefty valor. That's what they're going to try to do. They're going to say, what? I said...
How much of it is stolen lefty valor? Like, what the fuck is lefty valor? Like, what has lefties contributed, like, political criticism-wise, where people en masse has said, well, now we're coming to your position, right? Keep in mind that this criticism about the Epstein files and like Trump being in them and all of these things are levied by progressive liberals, okay? They're levied by liberals. They're levied by the Democratic Party, by members and commentators of the Democratic Party, okay? They're not levied by leftists. Okay, leftists trying to take credit for this by saying, oh, we've been saying this entire time is untrue because you assume that everybody who is a progressive liberal is a leftist, which is not true. Okay, now that is the definition of stolen valor. All right, there's nothing more stolen valor than something like that. Whenever you claim you claim credit, God, you guys are just a bunch of thieves. Okay. Like, leftists are just a bunch of idea thieves, all right? Like, no wonder we need intellectual property and why the leftists are against intellectual property. All they can steal is intellectual property at this rate. Holy shit.
That they were Israel first and not America first. What? I've always been right on this. Tucker will be like, oh, I've always been right that, you know, they were spending too much money sending it to Argentina, and they were, you know, supporting Israel too much, and they were arming a genocide. I always said that. But it's not really. They are doing stolen lefty valor. We were right from day one.
Stolen. Oh my god. Oh.
And we were telling you it's Trump doing the bad shit. They will soft pedal their Trump criticism. They'll go back and forth like, oh, I'm off the Trump train. Now I'm back on. Now I'm off. Now I'm back on. They'll only fully abandon when he's gonzo politically, when he's no longer with us politically, right? When he's either literally dead
Radiant
or
invited you to their
he's
party.
out of office.
Close.
That's when the truth will really set in for a lot of these people. But just remember who was right from day one. Just remember who was always telling you the truth. Spoiler alert, it's literally everybody on the left.
Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out.
No thanks. Okay, cool. Awesome. Good memes. Damn, isn't it a little bit too early to end stream right now? What else is there to see?